All right, we got Beals Point in, I guess you'd call this Folsom, but we're on the edge of Granite Bay. This is a recreational area, a big reservoir here. This is more flood control lake, and so the water level goes up and down a lot. It's a good 100, well, it's not quite 100 degrees here today. We got a little bit of a reprieve. There's fires up in the north of California, and so it's bringing in some air quality issues. But I thought I'd come out here and go for a little ride, show you guys what it's like around Folsom, Beals Point. All right. Hello everybody for Sugar Ride Part 2. I'm going to title it No Sugar 80-20. So let me tell you where we are. We're in edge of Folsom or Granite Bay. This is the eastern side of Sacramento, right before the foothills going into Tahoe. And we're at Lake Folsom. This is Beals Point. It's the 28th of July, 2018. You can see the beach. Last time I tried to show things, I think I shoot over the top, so we'll see how I go on that one. So this paved piece here, this is going to come to an end in a minute, and this is one end of this American River bike trail we have. It goes for, I believe, 50 miles. The other direction, all the way downtown. If we're lucky, we'll get some views from up here, but to be honest, the fires up north are really cutting the visibility. Really feel sorry for those guys up there. I grew up in Santa Rosa, so felt really bad for friends, parents, so forth in Santa Rosa last year with all the fires, and now Redding. And I used to sail on Lake Whiskey Town occasionally. Looks like it's got fire on almost all sides. So, thoughts go out to you guys. I wanted to kind of straighten up a couple of things I said in the Sugar Ride. If you didn't catch that, you can go have a look. I'll put a link here in the show. Basically, I've cut down sugar in my diet. I wasn't specifically advised to by a doctor, but my blood tests always seem to come back high in sugars, and I just thought, let's see what happens if I just cut some sugar out of my diet. So one thing I mentioned is I talked about how sugar is natural, and I was wrong. I think I tried to point that out in the last video, but I had some of my history wrong. Sugar been around for longer than I said, but it was pretty expensive and unattainable for much of the population for most of its early history. But nowadays, it's in everything, seems like. And there's added sugar and natural sugars, like the natural ones that come in fruit, milk. So I don't cut those out. And there are diets that will cut those out. And all carbs, which are basically not pretty close cousin of sugar. I'm not doing that yet. But I'll tell you, I don't miss it at all. At all. I feel so much better. Coming to the dentist the other day, and just for a regular checkup, which was, I often wonder what new thing I'm going to have to deal with, and they said teeth are fine. And I talked to the hygienist about cutting sugars out of my diet, and she said, oh, it has a direct effect. Yeah, with less sugar, your gums will be much healthier. But I did mention that it's kind of 80-20 for me. Like, a lot of things I think is healthy in life is perfectionism that can be dangerous. And I'm never going to try to be zero sugars, at least not for large stretches. And to be honest, cutting down a lot has had such a great benefit. I'm just going to ride that for a while. But I don't drink fruit juice because it's concentrated, and that's natural sugars theoretically. Certainly no juice with added sugars. Things like Gatorade, out. Many drinks at popular coffee shops, out. But I'm okay with black coffee or tea, unsweetened. And I don't have energy peaks and troughs throughout the day. I don't get ferociously hungry. You know, I don't have huge drops in blood sugar. So in that ride before, I did a lot of my talking in the paved access. Oh. And this is where I was headed. But I ran out of battery power or something and had to cut it short. So that's why this is part two. This is the dirt portion. And actually, I've had a bit of trouble with the camera shutting off. And this is the first ride in which I've reformatted my SD card. So with any luck, I'll be able to film this whole ride. This is the first big climb. Well, when I say big, Where I live, this ain't big. I mean, where you live, it's probably ain't big. It's pretty steep though. Hot day. Excuses. All right. So my dental hygienist said she's on one of those no sugar, no carbs diets. I think people are doing it and finding a lot of benefit. My daughter recently has become a vegetarian and she still lives at home, so we just generally eat less meat. But it wasn't just energy I benefited from and the ups and downs. Lack of energy, I should say. It's howdy. Just me by myself, guys. Well, that's the first time I've ever seen anybody up, and probably scared them more than me. These disc brakes locked me up good. I'm not gonna hit anybody, but I think I spooked them. So yeah, skin conditions. You know, I'm not those voodoo topics. Oh, not just acne, but eczema, rashes, those ugly skin conditions that make you look unhealthy. Well, I confess, struggled with eczema a bit on my face, no less. Dropped the sugar, gone. Apparently I was allergic to sugar. So I didn't move, and this has been going on for years, so I can't imagine. Howdy. I can't imagine that the pollen's changed, or the air. Nothing else has really changed in my diet. Maybe a little less meat, but I've been doing that for a while. Reducing sugar has been the only main thing. I haven't even reduced fat. In fact, salt and fat have gone up in my diet. Only thing I really cut out was sugar. I'm not ready to say it's poisonous. A lot of people will. So I think this is a personal thing. I think some people are allergic to things that other people aren't. And I think there's plenty of people that can eat all the sugar they want. Although, again, what do I know? I'm just theorizing, trying to be a benefit of the doubt for the sugar eaters. This is by no means a pedestal or lecture, just sharing. You might want to give it a try. Comment, let me know. Maybe you already have. What I'm saying is a joke. Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe there's some correlation. Okay, so I drop sugar and I have more energy and less skin conditions. Maybe it's correlated to something else. Correlation, not causation. Could be. So, to be honest, no sugar, asterisk 80-20. So what do I do when I really want a dose of sugar? Well, whipped cream is about 1 gram of sugar per serving. Contrast that with a standard yogurt someone would think is healthy, which might be 35 grams of sugar. "35 grams of sugar for what many people think healthy." Well, 1 gram of sugar for whipped cream. I spray that on a strawberry. A couple of times, I get my fix. I drink a lot of tea, coffee. I don't put sugar in either. Never did, so that was easy. If I am going to eat sugar, I try to time it on cycling days. I kind of believe that if I put it in my bloodstream, immediately go burn it up, then it's being put to good use and not necessarily bad for me. Again, your mileage may vary on this, so I encourage you to do more research. But look, in my opinion, it doesn't hurt at all. There's nothing negative about this. Unless you're a sugar fiend, or you like run a cookie store. Or your sweetheart bakes a lot and you gotta suddenly break that bond. Love eating their yummy baking. There are baking options. You might be able to bake with applesauce. There's no sugar. Now, by the way, honey, I put honey in the sweet group, even though it's natural. You know, maybe kind of, oh shoot, I don't want to go this way. Cut around. Oh, what's this? Different route. Yeah, someday I'll talk about suspension, but to be honest, suspension isn't really for bumps like this. Suspension is for cornering. That's for another day. So, at least on this bike. So yeah, honey, I'd put honey in the 20% part of the 80-20. But I don't crave it. Like, if I'm gonna have a dessert and there's a bit of honey in it, I'm more apt to than if it's straight sugar, brown sugar. But I'm looking at labels. I look at total sugars, and anything with 0 total sugars is best. Well, I figure if I try for that most of the time and slip up occasionally, or you go out to eat, you don't know what's in there, and That's your 20. Of course, if it's no added sugar, that beats a similar thing that has added sugar, assuming I really need it. I'm going to do it's a popular ride. Not today apparently, even though it is a Saturday. Maybe it's too hot or the air quality is too low, too bad. This is the junction. What we're going to do we're going to do a big climb up to the benches. This is a great single speeder hill because I used to run Crank Brothers pedals, but I couldn't figure out how to stay in them, so I don't like the float in these XTDRs, but to be honest, float, my knees are okay. I don't want to be popping out either. I love these stands, no tubes, $500, reasonably okay light. I mean, I'd love some MVs, but what can you do? A bit too expensive for me. Tubeless is wicked. I love it. Front suspension, I used to run a rigid front end, but it was carbon and it didn't really stand up to the punishment. I got this fork mainly for the frame. The frame needed a little bit of a lighter touch, and since then I've really grown to like it. It's got a lockout, and I basically helps me around corners, keeping that wheel on the ground. Hydro brakes. Let's ride it. Okay, this is the benches. It's a no sugar ride part 2. This is Journal Rider. Time for the downhill portion. Unlock my fork. Now, I don't know. Maybe sugar helps some people. I don't know. Does it help you? Maybe bigger is better in the downhill world. I remember talking to a guy who was a jet pilot, and they pull so many G's. Eating fatty food helps them from passing out. I don't know if that includes sugar or not. Or maybe he was just giving me shit. Giving me a hard time. Sorry. I want to keep this a clean channel, so please erase that word. Journal Rider. Shoot, I don't know. Maybe my grandparents. Oh yeah, that'd be a trick. Technology. Grandkids. I want to have a look. See what their grandpappy was into. Back when people pedaled bikes. Oh, one of the other big things for sugar, I think I mentioned this in part 1, but I'll mention it again so you know it's something that really happened. I dropped 10 pounds like overnight. I was about 185 pounds at, oh shit, I have a flat now. Oh boy, that was a, you know, I'm really not focusing. I hope you aren't taking notes. I'm not cornering too well. It's the heat and trying to choose my words. Okay. But 10 pounds. I went from 185 to 175. Now, there was a while, a couple years back, when I was riding tons and I couldn't lose weight. And I thought, well, I just have to change my diet. It's the only choice. And I'm not fanatical about losing weight, but when you want to go fast on your bike, you can spend $1,000 to shed a pound or two, or just adjust your diet. Just save you money and weight. Lighten up to the rider weight for the bike, unless you're talking about wheels, and then that's another subject because rotational weight is super important. But I'm talking about body weight, and 10 pounds without sugar, bang, or 820 sugar. What this means is you go to a friend's house and they offer some cookies or cake on them, you know, they bake. You don't want to let them down. You gotta be ready for that. Oh, why not? And you gotta say, well, I've been cutting back. I like the way I feel. I'm sure it's delicious. Not today. Or maybe once in a while you indulge and you just go no sugar for a while, get back on track. You just can't use that excuse too often, or you're not eating sugar. You can't trust yourself, and you just have to not eat it. And everybody's metabolism is different. But so no sugar. Let's see if I can add it up. It's not natural. Probably the least good reason. We had lots of not natural things, but really my bike's not natural. Should I not ride it? But that's a reason for some people. Maybe next is the cost. Although that might be a real substantial reason for some people. Maybe equal to cutting into your lifestyle. It's a bit of a negative, actually. Although, it'd be a positive if you have less eczema and are lighter weight. Lighter weight transforms to easier cardio. Ride a single speed. So what's after weight? How about blood sugar? And number one for people with pre-diabetes, for sure. weight loss for free, cost. Not tired in the afternoon, that's I think my favorite. And then there's I think I already alluded to it, the turning down your friends or loved ones' goodies, sugar goodies, I should say. Now, you still need calories, but if you get them more complex or mixed with proteins like peanut butter, nuts, rice and beans, eggs, some meats that are low in fat, and I think I'll go this way home. So you'll still get the same amount of calories, get through your day. I suspect if you're really hooked on it, like cookies and coffee at periodic places throughout the day, and just coffee might feel like you're giving up a good friend. So that might be hard. You gotta ask yourself, benefits. Lower risk of serious health issues, lower weight, generally daily, day by day healthier, cheaper, outweighs the negatives for me, so I want to pass that along. Now, I just mentioned real quick, smoking. Like, often those coffee breaks come with smokes, nicotine of some sort, maybe a vape, and maybe a cookie, candy bar. All these stimulants, I'm not doing you any favors, health-wise. So when I say sugar has all these benefits, look, I'm assuming you're not doing nicotine. So if you're doing that, forget about sugar, deal with that first. Get off it now. Look, there's no good reason. It's expensive and bad for you. And you don't get something for nothing in life. Stop it. Don't start. So as I mentioned, this was a flood control lake, and during the beginning of the summer, this is full. Then as it warms up in the mountains and the snowpack melts, they need room here to hold back the water so Sacramento doesn't get flooded. So that's why it looks like droughty, but this is planning. They let it out on purpose. All right, sugar, sugar, sugar. If you made it this far, I commend you. I commend me for making something that got you to stick with it. And I really, really appreciate it. I hope I'm doing something right, helping somebody. Subscribe, come back, get updates. I'll build on some of these concepts. Maybe I'll give you some Good alternatives to sugar. Okay, sand. Hello. This ride's done. I am done. It's hot, midday. Yeah, I think if you have the choice today, boating or cycling, something tells me boating would win out. I don't really have any desire to tell any of you all what to do. So take this or leave it. And if every single person who watches this says untrue, wrong, sugar is only bad for me and the rest of us are fine, I won't even argue with you. I'm just sharing my point of view, and I'm honest. I'm being 100% honest. 80-20, sugar, dietary fiber. All right. See you all next time.